In the first situation where the entry was lawful, it's super easy to apply for adjustment of status to become a permanent resident after you marry a US citizen, assuming you don't have any other disqualifying factors such as criminal history. But in the second scenario, that kid who's led an almost identical life to the first scenario is gonna be out of luck, and he won't be eligible to fix his immigration status even though he's trying now to do everything the right way. And you could argue that it was not his fault that he was brought to the US unlawfully as a child. Why don't immigrants who are in the US just fix their status and do things the right way? Well, let's start with a quick hypothetical situation. Right, so there are two immigrants from Mexico, and they're both age 16. In one situation, the parents are wealthier and they were able to obtain a tourist visa to enter the United States. So the parents and the 16-year-old kid all have tourist visas. They hop on a plane and they fly into the United States. And then they overstay. They never go back to Mexico. And so they are unlawfully present in the United States after like the first 6 months of being here. 20 years later, that 16-year-old is now 36 years old. He has studied in the US his entire life. He's a college graduate. He's paid taxes. And now at 36, he wants to marry his US citizen fiance. And after he does so, he will be able to apply for permanent residence to become a green card holder. Before that, for the last 20 years, he was unlawfully present in the United States, as some people would say illegally in the United States. Although it's not actually a crime to be unlawfully present in the US, it's not actually illegal. That's what some people would call it. Now let's look at a slightly different situation. That same 16-year-old, his parents never applied for a tourist visa. Instead, they walked over the border without inspection. And then aside from that, everything else was exactly the same. The kid went to college, he spoke perfect English, he paid taxes, and then 20 years later, he marries his US citizen spouse. The difference between the first scenario and the second scenario is the manner of entry was lawful. Now, in both situations, it was a 16-year-old kid and it was largely outside of his control. He didn't have the intent one way or the other. I would argue he's not morally culpable for any of this. But either way, as an adult, he finds himself in the United States without status, and 20 years after entering the US, he tries to fix his status through marriage to a US citizen. In the first situation where the entry was lawful, it's super easy to apply for adjustment of status to become a permanent resident after you marry a US citizen, assuming you don't have any other disqualifying factors such as criminal history. But in the second scenario, that kid who's led an almost identical life to the first scenario is gonna be out of luck, and he won't be eligible to fix his immigration status even though he's trying now to do everything the right way. And you could argue that it was not his fault that he was brought to the US unlawfully as a child. In that second scenario, there can be a pathway to fix his immigration status, but it's not gonna be easy, it's gonna be full of risk, and he will eventually have to go back to Mexico to attend an interview at a consulate, which will most likely be in Ciudad Juarez. And if everything goes well and he's approved for an unlawful presence waiver, then he might be allowed back into the United States as a permanent resident. But that's not a guaranteed outcome. It's not even close to a guaranteed outcome. And this is the situation that a lot of immigrants find themselves in. Now, you might be thinking, yeah, but aren't there other ways to become a permanent resident? And the answer is yes. In this scenario, I'm only discussing family-based immigration. But the other ways are not that easy as well. Employment-based immigration, like getting an employer to petition for you, is completely out of the question when you're out of status. And it's especially out of the question if you entered the US illegally. So that closes all of those options off to him. And then there are some humanitarian options. Applying for asylum, which is like literally impossible right now, but historically was never easy as well. Most people are denied asylum and end up being placed into removal proceedings thereafter. There are other humanitarian options like a U visa if he was ever the victim of a crime in the United States. VAWA, Violence Against Women Act, it's not just for women, but it's basically for victims of domestic violence if they meet all the other requirements. And a handful of other rare options are available. The reality is, if you've entered the US without inspection and you've never subsequently been paroled and you don't qualify for this rare exception called 245I, you probably won't be able to adjust your status from within the United States. You'll probably have to apply for some sort of waiver and then leave the United States to attend the consulate interview and hope that that goes well and you're allowed back into the United States. There's substantial risk involved. With all of that said, it is possible, and I handle these cases all the time, to enter the US without inspection, marry a US citizen, and then fix your immigration status. But it's way harder, it takes way longer, and it's way riskier. And there is a reason that in this example, I'm specifically discussing marriage to a US citizen. That is one of the categories of family petition that allows you to fix your status from within the United States, even though you're unlawfully present in the United States. Other categories of family members do not qualify to fix your status if you're out of status. For example, sibling petitions or petitions for children if you are a permanent resident, or petitions for spouses if you are a permanent resident. There's only 3 categories of petition that will allow you to fix your status even though you're out of status in the US. Those are marriage to a US citizen, a US citizen who's over age 21 petitioning for his or her parents, and US citizen parents who are petitioning for their children who are under age 21 and unmarried. Any other category of petition is called a preference category petition, and those people cannot be out of status and apply for adjustment of status from within the US. The best case scenario, which might be available to some of them, is to do the process from a consulate abroad. And by the way, if you are going to do the process through a consulate abroad, either because you have a preference category petition or you entered the US without inspection, I strongly recommend speaking to an attorney before you do, because during this process, the consulate will just schedule your interview and everything will seem good to go. And then you'll hop on a plane and then you'll go to the consulate for your interview. And everything will seem fine, but at the end of the interview, they're gonna say, we're gonna deny this visa and refuse your entry into the US because you're inadmissible due to unlawful presence. And now, since you have not yet applied for an unlawful presence waiver, you're gonna get stuck in your home country for a while, like probably for more than a year, where you're gonna have to file a new waiver application and just wait in your home country and pray that that gets approved. And you could have done that from within the United States, at least when the inadmissibility issue is unlawful presence. Other grounds of inadmissibility, you cannot waive from within the US. You will have to go to the consulate abroad, wait for the inadmissibility determination, and then apply for a waiver while you're waiting outside of the US. Suboptimal, but if your only issue is unlawful presence, you want to apply for that waiver from within the United States. There is a way to do that. The process takes a few years, so you don't want to waste your time submitting something that's going to get denied. If you need assistance with any sort of family-based immigration matter, whether it's filing a family petition or removing conditions on your residency, if you're already a conditional resident, or naturalization or deportation defense, you could always schedule a consultation directly with me, Puyan Darian. I handle these cases all day. So if you need assistance, the first step would be to schedule a consultation by clicking the link in the video description below or giving my office a call. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time for another video.